Just thinking back to that evaluation, I did tell you somewhere along the line that we wrote an extensive report and it was never published because I agree. David Jeremiah agreed that that report had to include how the system operated. And of course, I wasn't going to mince words. I talked about shortcomings as well as the good, and the report never appeared. And I never had a relationship with the Welsh government after that. You know, all that work we were doing in Wales, I was done without any support from the Welsh government. After I finished that evaluation, I was presumed persona non grata.
The current team are really happy to hear those comments at the moment.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, I mean, it's all about the individuals and the ethos of the organisation at a particular time, isn't it? And at that time, they thought they were doing special, but they weren't willing to listen. And I think they thought they were doing better than England. That was an important thing for them, whereas basically what they were doing was what the English were saying.
There was a lot of what went on at that point in time is there's an expression for it some people use, which is called dragonification. So you take what the English have got and you translate it and you put a Welsh dragon flag on the front and then you call it Welsh policy, but it hasn't evolved within Wales and of the Wales community. And of course, really the Welsh government broke that cycle once it had got its own legislation power. So and I think partly because it was a Labour government, and that was driving some of those things, they kind of did that to some degree or another. And the moment, and for this long period, since whenever it is, 15, 17 years or whatever it is of it now, Cardiff doesn't choose to do that because they don't accept a Conservative Party policy and just, so there's a lot of reasons why that was going on at that point in time, I think, both macro and micro politics, I think. But I would think people would argue now, if you had a look at it, that the stuff that goes on in Wales and Scotland has a pronounced different effect to what's going on in England. And I think we have to look no further, of course, that both Wales and Scotland have gone down the line, for example, of minimum unit pricing policy for alcohol, and all that implies and challenges for the alcohol industry and everything else. And it's a place that the English government just keeps refusing to go.